Welcome back. We are doing some gardening today, and between this episode and the episode that we just had, I've done a few changes to this area. First of all, a great change to add was the flowers not being... I was told they're a bit too red. The redness is a bit too much. I gotta agree. The previous flowers, they were a bit too red. We'll go have a look at these now. But I want to quickly go and do some stuff. I want to talk to you guys about what we're doing today before we get distracted with this, because we are still doing gardening. Because this gardening has actually made such an amazing difference to this place. Okay, there we go. That's good for us to go check it out. So you see this design? That's where we're at right now. I've extended it out this way, going towards the entrance of the gates towards the castle, or well, not the castle, the palace. I think we have to think of it as a palace. There's a difference, a slight difference, but a difference nonetheless, between a castle and a palace, as far as I'm aware. But you know what? I'm not here to debate that. I'm more interested in what is going on today. Certainly not going to have any unfortunate starts to this episode. That's not going to happen. Well, let's put it this way. That has happened, and it's not going to get any worse. Has anything fallen down there? Doesn't look like it. Okay, what a coincidence that it stopped right here. So, this has happened way too many times to me today. I've been falling off things, breaking my face against things. It's been happening, but it's alright. It's not that big of a deal. And to be honest, it's kind of refreshing sometimes having to collect your tools and start from scratch. It makes you have to do something a little bit different to building. So, we need to quickly go grab a bit of rest. Where is our nearest bed right now? It was back there, actually. So, yeah, let's just go into one of these houses here. So, today, we are going to be working on the northern garden today in the palace of the entrance, because we're going to have a lot of gardens around the place in the front and in the back. And by the way, your home bed was missing or obstructed. That's happened to me a few times because I keep sleeping in this bed here. And the problem is, that block's actually occupied by that. So, it doesn't know where to spawn me. It spawns me back at spawn, and you guys may have just caught a little glimpse of spawn. It's not looking too good right now, but I guarantee you what it's looking like is a good thing. And despite it looks terrible, it looking terrible, it's going to look very, very good by the time we're done. Plus, everything else is going to benefit a lot from the little project we got going on in Spawn there. So if you're interested in that, we've been working on that in streams recently. It's a very weird sort of thing, but it's going to be doing some good changes to the world. So how about we do this quick? Eat that, eat another one, and maybe one more. And now we can finally get started on what I wanted to do this episode. So, as I say, we want to do this gardening thing over here. And really, I need a few more blocks. In fact, this could work. 15. Yes. Half slab. Of course. Perfect. So, what I want to do is I want to make these gardens more interesting than what they are currently. I really love the way that they came out in the last episode. This one over here. This little piece around there. We've got this one with the little bench over there. So what I'd like to do is extend this out this way and towards this gatehouse over here, or maybe it could even be the entrance. We'll see what ends up happening. But as we extend this out here, I want to do a little bit of a swirl because I've been having a look at different palatial gardens and just very cool looking gardens in general. And I think we could do a very cool job with these. And I like the way it started on this one and how hopefully it's going to be turning out of this. So what I want to do today is I want to start off by making a little bit of a swirl going in there. And I had a thought of doing something that may end up looking like a butterfly, and I was like, a butterfly would, to be honest, it would look pretty cool in here, but I think it might just look a bit tacky, to be honest. So I'd like to go and do two separate things on each side here. I want to do something on this side, and I want to do something different on this side. Maybe slightly, maybe greatly. We'll see what we do. But let's get started with the basic layout. Of course, this is going to be a bit of trial and error here because I'm not really too familiar with making a circle that kind of, well, like a circle, a curve like this, that eventually goes in on itself, like this. I think something like that. Let's go check how we're looking. So this is the way I'm planning on doing it. Making a little bit of a circle, working it out a little bit more, and can I get up there? Get up there, get up there. Yeah, something like that. So it pulls into itself like this, and then it starts going smaller and smaller towards the middle there. And then we can put something in the middle. So what I want to do is, what I picture at least, is having this over here turning in, and we'll have something in the middle there with some hedges going in around here, like that, and just pulling it all together. I think it's going to start working real good, but we have to work it out first. The other thing is, maybe we'll have to change this path up a little bit. I was just thinking about it. We may very well come in a bit this way, in which case, yeah, that won't be the biggest of issues. It won't be too nice, but it won't be the biggest of issue. So let's just go ahead and try to smooth this out a bit. So I'll just make it thicker here, probably about like 3 blocks thick or so, like that. And we'll just try and get this a little bit more worked in. And by the way, this is pro building tip of all time to get your things to look better, your builds to look better. Try and get your circles and curves looking better. Trust me, this has been the one of the biggest changes that I've been able to do, is start making my curves a little bit nicer than what they've been over the past over the past few years at least. Okay, that's a start. We'll see how we go. So we may have to pull a few blocks away, put a few blocks in. Oh, almost absolutely nailed that. Yeah, it's a bit too much. But you see the thought that I'm going at here. So it goes in this way, loops around. Kind of like that loop right there. We'll play around with the idea, but it'll loop around in there. I'm not too sure what to put in there. If you got any ideas, of course, I love to hear the ideas. But I'm thinking probably like a lantern sort of thing, a light source, because we don't have any sources of light in here just yet. We actually have to work that out at some time. But something like that could look very cool. And there's one of those curves that I'm talking about. You see that? Just with a little bit of work, going backward and forward, trying to see what we could get a good curve with. I think we've got a pretty cool curve. A nice little swirl into the middle there. We could probably put something in the middle there. As I say, I don't know, probably a lamp, but we'll see what we're doing. Another thing is, look at all these flowers. Man, I'm so glad you guys told me to do that. The purple, well, switching the red over with purple, that's fantastic. I was actually thinking of maybe a lavender field with some of these at some stage one day, even though it's not really lavender, but from a distance, it might look like it. So we can deal with that stuff when we get there. By the way, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in this little spot around there. There's just so many cool things about this garden that I've been overlooking in a lot of gardens, which I think we're gonna start stepping up our garden game. Let me tell you that. I think we're definitely gonna have to improve on our gardening. So what I want to do is I want to do something along these lines here, where let's just make a raw thing around here, kind of spike it out this way. And how are we doing? Maybe we'll spike it out in this direction here to around there, just roughly. We'll chisel it down a little bit. So what I think will be great to do here is add a garden, like a second garden onto the garden. So elevating it up, making sure we can see everything from the bottom. Actually, I think I'm taking a bit too much off that way. Make sure that as we come in here, we don't just have this flat, boring piece. I want to go 2 levels up and start making this look very interesting. So that's what I hope to do, but we'll see what ends up happening. This may very well be an idea that just doesn't work, but it's worth a try. So let's just do a little bit of a curve, back to the curve making, and really it's all just practice, and then more practice, and then more practice, and going backward and forward, and I think we should be all right. So what's that? That goes out like that, and then so go in around that way, flip around. 2 in that way is too much. I think 2 will be all right. Flick that way, and then we start coming in over here. So down there. Back to our big booster spot over here. That is a spot. Great. So the other things that I've been thinking about with this palace is just how people will be interacting with this around the village. For instance, the royals will be coming in here. Guests will be coming in here. We've got places for guests to stay inside. We've got things like that will be in there. Courtrooms, perhaps. Places where everyone who runs this place meets up. Yeah, that's actually working quite well. I think this piece here needs to kind of cut in just a little. I think I'll take 2 off there and then start working our way that way. So just thinking about those sorts of things in this place is going to give us so much room for activities in here. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. I hope. I'm sure of it. And then not only that, we've also got so many outdoor things, which kind of surprised me, to be completely honest, because we've only touched the outside right now, and oh, that's what we need. We've only touched the outside right now, and to be honest, the outside's been a real treat. I've been loving this, and to be honest, I really do like the outdoors in Minecraft. It's probably some of the better stuff for me. I tend to enjoy the biome building, all those sorts of things. They make such a difference to the world. And in fact, the next biome that we'll be building most likely will be the biome around here, because this isn't going to be a jungle. Because that is actually a very common question. Am I going to leave it as a jungle? No. What will we do? We'll see. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but it definitely will not be a jungle biome, that's for sure. I think it'll be good to just change it up a little bit. This feels a bit weird here. So we go out like that. Let's go out one more. Let's try this, like that. We push this out one more. It feels a little bit weird, all cramped up in there. And yeah, I think it needs to change. So these here, like that, and let's go have another look before we overcommit to the second level. So that is the thought, at least. We just want to make this place look so much, just have so much logic behind it that it helps us build the place, and then we don't have to really think about adding in silly things that end up messing our builds around. So how does that look? Yeah, I've got to get rid of that, but I think that curve, it's looking all right from where we are right now. But this is back to what I said. Curves, that's all you need. These beautiful curves, like that. Now, picture that there. We've also, I forgot to mention, we've also pulled the road in a little bit there. And I'm probably going to pull this out that way. So we could perhaps get this on a little bit of an angle, which will be, oh, that'll be amazing if we can get a bit of an angle to this place. I've been looking at different ways of getting angles into things. I've been playing around in creative worlds recently, which has been actually one of the goals of mine in the next few weeks, of course, to start doing a few more things in a creative world. Hopefully a few things on a video, of course. So that would be pretty cool. Just to try and get cool ideas and start playing around with bigger ideas than what we do. I mean, here in survival, we do some pretty awesome stuff. I think we're doing some cool stuff. This just doesn't feel right. 3, 4 long? That seems really long. I might have to mess around with this a little bit. Yeah, I'll have to mess around with this a little bit. But yeah, we're just getting a whole bunch of those ideas that I have, which I really don't have the ability or time to do, I guess, in survival, because they just take so long. I think it'll be great to just get them out of the way. In fact, one of those would be the mountain that I've got that's still busy being built. If you guys know about the mountain, all the way out there. If you don't know about the mountain, you need to know about the mountain. It's one of my favorite projects so far to have worked on. But yeah, like the mountain over there, that's one of those projects which would be great to do in creative, because really it's a big time project, a big time creative project. But overall, getting a proper creative series going, I'll be able to do so many more of those sorts of builds. Maybe not a mountain, I want it to be a bit more exquisite than that, but something along those lines would be great. Getting, for instance, dragons. If you guys don't know, we've got really wyverns, but the dragons, we haven't got them done in a while, because we've got so much other stuff going this city. See, so those are the sorts of things I think we could really knock out reasonably fast in a proper creative series. So tell what you think about that. I think it'll be cool to do those sorts of things. It'll be a lot larger scale. Like I wouldn't do like smaller stuff, I don't think. Perhaps, I don't know, a few hundred blocks of a plot or something like that should work probably pretty well. So let's go on to the next part here, next layer. And also, yeah, you know what, we'll just stick with this. I think it'll be all right. We can always chisel it down a bit more until we get that right. So yeah, that's the plan. Get a few more things going on, and get this place super finished. And then we can move on to other stuff around here as well. So that's the plan, the grind. Get all the grind done. So around here, this is where I'm thinking, well, we don't want that. Actually, we might want that 3 high, but I feel like 3 will be just a little bit too high, and that's going to be there. So perhaps, yeah, this will work. There. So perhaps we should keep this too high for now, and we'll do another little step inside here. So get rid of that. There. Oh, okay, well, they'll turn eventually. So now the next thing is to get this next piece in here. So maybe something along these lines here, where we can go in 1. Nah, it's a bit too much, I think. Actually, we'll try it. Like that, and there. And something along those lines. Like that. Let's check how that looks. Specifically from the bottom, and then going around. I kind of like it. I kind of like the piece there, but I don't like how flat this is. So we have to do something with that. The pity is, as soon as we, for instance, we could use a little bit of a trick. I'll show, actually, I do have shears. Great. Okay, I can show this little trick that I think is pretty cool to getting a different texture on a leaf block, is to use some of these, but it only works for your leaves that change color, your jungle and your oak. But using some vines, you get the vine texture over the other texture, and it looks like a completely new leaf block, which is really cool. So I haven't actually even tried it with these new vines, but it should work. Same concept. So you see that there? A little bit different. Now it looks like it's a different kind of leaf block over there as well. And the reason it only works with these ones is because, of course, the vines change color with the rest of them. Let's find a jungle block. But yeah, the vines change color with them. So there's just some really neat little ways of doing it. Why don't we have any jungle leaves? There's no leaves around there. I have to still get to that place there. I don't know, but you guys get the point. There's some really cool stuff with these leaves that you can do. How have I not used any jungle? This is a jungle biome. That's fine. But yeah, there's some really cool things you can do just to create a bit more texture, but the spruce is very limited. There we go. I've gone and put it in. I've put in an extra level as well. I think it's gonna work. It's just, it needs a bit more love, but we'll get to that. Tell me what you think about it. I'm always open to a few cool ideas. Add in some things to change. In fact, I mean, as I say, that was the thing that happened the last time and why we have so many purple and white flowers. I mean, maybe they're a little bit too much. We can still change that around. It's not a big deal. So what I was thinking of doing, because I'm trying to add in a little bit more of a brighter color, like well, not color necessarily, a brighter edge to this piece, a trim to this piece. And I was hoping to do something as light as quartz. So I've gone ahead, mined up some quartz. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to lay a quartz bottom to this. Like you'll notice there's a second layer over here of grass. I want to actually lay a quartz bottom to the top of that, if that makes sense. So of slabs, just to add in a little bit of a highlight of the quartz. We actually don't need that much, I don't think. Yeah, 30. What is that? 42 now. That'll be all right. So I just want to add a little bit of a highlight to that place, purely to get a bit of a different color in here, which is not a color, which is just plain quartz. So let's add a bit of that in. And then I've also got an idea for how I want to do a lamp over here, or a lantern over here, which is just going to be lighting up the area. And where is the sun? The sun's kind of good. Okay, that's good. We can actually probably get this done because I know more or less what I'm going to be doing here, and it shouldn't be too hard. There we go. Let's get that in, get these in, and then we'll have a pretty good looking area, hopefully at that stage. There, and there. Please work. Yeah, I kind of like it. I think once we got a picture having these walls over here and the walls in here, it's going to box it in a lot. It's kind of hard to imagine, and I think it is going to be quite difficult to imagine this, but I think it's going to turn out the way I want it to turn out. So first, okay, I didn't actually think, let's do a little bit of a floor. I kind of overlooked the floor a little bit here, but that's all right. We've got the materials on us for one. So what we'll do is we'll take out 1, 2, 3, like that, and is that 3? Yeah, cool. All right, we'll put in a little bit of a floor here. I think there, checkerboard style. The checkerboard style is actually working really well. I always find it very kind of like a thing that I would have done in the earlier days of playing Minecraft. I guess I would have very quickly done these checkerboards, and then I've gone off of them just as a rule I've set in my head for some reason. But really, it's not that bad of a thing to do. There we go. We'll do that. May as well. We're gonna be capping it off, so may as well just cap it off now. There we go. And what I was thinking, which I thought looked pretty cool when I've tried this before, is doing a little thing like this. This kind of a design, a spiral, because I wanted to make like a monument sort of thing in here, but I can't get one to work. And the spiral actually looks really cool. I'll just do a little bit of it, but there's one big pity to it, so you can get like a cool little curve to it. You see that there? We'll do the same thing here. We'll put that little curve in there. So you can get a really neat curve to it, but as soon as you start adding in pieces under there and on there, it becomes so blocky and full. It just doesn't work. So that's a pity that we can't get that right. So the only way I think we could go around that is with some of these, which we'll do this here and this around here to try and still keep a little bit of a blocky feel to it, but still maintaining like a good amount of vision through it. And then the light in over there. How does that look? Yeah, that'll work. We'll go back to this. Now it's whether or not this works in the end. This was a bit of a risk, but I think it'll work. So we'll do that there, and then we'll, I guess, yeah, that'll do. There. By the way, look at that sun. Oh man, we got to catch this quick. Let's try and get into this quick. I think this will be it. There. Catch those. And there we go. Let's go check it out. I love this time of day where it's just going to that, oh yeah, that perfect little twilight time. Look at that. Man, the purple looks even more vibrant on these, what are these, alliums? Are these alliums? I think they're alliums. Yeah, alliums. Man, that's looking great. That's like, that is the place I want to be there. So I think we will go ahead and quickly check this out from the top before the sun goes down. Perfect. That is absolutely awesome. This is exactly the view I was looking for. Now picture this with something a little bit different on this side, some gates over here, some walls around this side. This place is going to look awesome. I'm actually very excited for this, but I think the sun's going down. The job's done. We've got more stuff to do. So I think we'll call this a day today, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today in this world. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As I say, any ideas are good ideas, so I'd love to see them in the comments section. But until then, I'll see you in the next one.